Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. On this week's episode, we're going to go over some really helpful tools to have with you and how to diagnose some of your electrical systems. First things first, if you like what you're watching, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to turn on the notification bell. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing. Check us out online at whynotrvusa.com. We're also now on Patreon at patreon.com/whynotrv. And we have an amazing Facebook group that is growing very, very quickly. So come join us on Facebook. It's just Why Not RV under Facebook groups. But I'm going to put a link in the description below for all those websites. First, I want to go over some of the tools that I carry with you guys, okay? So I carry a pretty wide variety of tools. I have a lot of basic hand tools. I have circular saws, I got Sawzall, I got an air pump, I got a vacuum, I got a leaf blower. I mean, I got all sorts of stuff. By no means do you need all that stuff to start. By no means do you need all that stuff for long-term or full timing. It's just what I like to do because I like to work on every aspect of the RV, so I like to have a nice wide range of tools. I will say that my most used tools are as follows. This little tool by Hilmar is a 9-in-1 because it has 1, 2, 3, that's the same size on both sides, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different uses. So, you know, I can use the Phillips or the flathead on the large side. This is a nut driver in there for one size. That's another size. This is a third size. And you got, I got my valve core remover tool. I have my square tip tool, which is in a lot of electrical work. I have a smaller Phillips and a smaller flathead. And you know, you put all these together and voila, you have an amazing little tool. Okay, and again, I'm gonna put a link in the description below to some options like this, but this is literally the #1 tool I use. I mean, as soon as something goes wrong, this is what I go and grab. My Impact, okay? Now, by no means do I promote Dewalt. It is just who I use. I just like having one battery system. So all my stuff I have is pretty much Dewalt when it comes to electric tools. And they're a great product. I absolutely love Dewalt, but I'm not telling you to go buy Dewalt by any means. Use whatever you want. But having a nice impact gun is an amazing tool to have. You know, you can have a screwdriver tip on it. You can put all sorts of different socket tips or bolts at the end. Really, really amazing tool. I use it all the time. Okay. My next thing is a nice set of pliers. Okay, you need a nice set of pliers. You also need wire strippers. Okay, wire strippers are another really good tool to have. And then, of course, your basic adjustable wrench and channel locks. Okay, those right there are probably my most used tools. Also, a pair of dikes. Okay, which some people will just use the part of your pliers right here in the middle where you can cut with those. I like having my own pair of dikes just by themselves because it's a great tool to have. And then the last thing, which is of course what we're going to talk about a lot today, is a good multimeter. Okay, I'll put some links in the description below to a couple different options for some basic multimeters up to some nicer ones. Just depends on your needs. But if you're just doing some basic diagnostics, you really don't need anything too fancy. You just need something that'll test both 12 volt DC and 120 volt AC. So you really don't need anything too crazy. But let's go over some of this stuff more in detail. One other thing that's just a lot easier than buying pliers by themselves, channel locks by themselves, adjustable wrench by themselves, is just getting yourself a nice, good mechanics tool set. Okay, I'll put a link in the description below to on Amazon for something that's similar to this. Just having a set like this with different wrenches and sockets and tips and all that kind of stuff is a really simple thing to do, and it folds down to a nice, neat little package. And I have it nice, it's thin. I keep it over here in my wall, right in between over there, so it's easy to keep, and it has almost everything you need for basic hand tools. So just to follow up from my video from last week, I'm going to take you guys over to the water heater just because it has everything exposed and it's easy to be able to show you guys maybe how to do some basic diagnostics. So let's take a peek over there. So we're at our hot water heater, so let's go ahead and do some basic diagnostics on this thing for you guys, okay? first thing we're gonna need is, of course, our multimeter. And again, check the link in the description below. I'm gonna drop a couple different multimeters in there. And actually, I have this off right now. So let me go ahead and go inside and turn this on, just to be able to show you guys power and where power comes from and how it goes through the system. I went inside and I flipped my electric water heater switch to on. So right now I should have power at the electric water heater source. So let me show you what that looks like. So if we look on our wiring diagram, we can see our switches come from inside for electric and gas. So we're gonna follow this electric one, and it says that it is a white wire going up to the top. Now we want to find our ground. So our ground right here is a green wire. So let's go ahead and check it out. We're first going to go ahead and turn our multimeter on to DC, and we're doing 12 volts. So we're going to put this set at 20, and this is for DC voltage. Let's see if I can get this. When it's a solid line with dotted lines on the bottom, that is DC. When it's, and you got the V for voltage. Okay, and then you have the V with a little squiggly line over top. That's for alternating current. So this is for your 120 volt AC. But for now we're doing the 20 because we're dealing with 12 volts, so it's going to be below that. You know, it's above 2, so below 20. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and set it right here, and let's go ahead and test this out. So as I have this zoomed in, I'm going to put my black lead into the green, which is for ground. Okay, let's see if I can get this in here too. And we're going to take our red lead and we're going to put it to the white, because it said that the white is our switch from inside. And you can see that as soon as I touch the white, we're showing our voltage. I take it away, no more voltage. So that means that that switch inside is now giving this board right here the 12 volts of DC electricity. So what happens after that? If you watched my video last week, you heard me talk about how after we have power coming into the board here, coming back out, it goes through. Okay, we have the ECO switch. We also have a thermal cutoff switch. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is check our brown wire, which should go through our thermal cutoff switch, meaning when this thermal cutoff switch has reached temperature, it should cut out and stop the flow of electricity. So let's check our power there. So coming back, I'm going to keep my black lead up here in the ground. So that's good. I'm going to double check, make sure that we have voltage coming out of our white wire. Yes, we do. Now it should be going in through this brown wire, so let's find out. Oh, I saw voltage for a second. There it was. I just got to touch it the right way. Okay, you can see voltage going through this brown wire into this first part of the thermostat, or the thermal cutoff switch. Okay, I'm just not really getting a very good ground on it, but you can see power is going through it. Now let's check the other side to see if power is coming out of it. Again, it is. I'm having a difficulty trying to hold it right where I need to, but you can see the voltage as I'm touching it. It goes up to 12 volts for a second. Okay, but knowing that, you can really diagnose just about anything. I know that what I'm showing you, a lot of you guys right now, you might be very confused and wondering what the heck I'm even talking about. But if you can wrap your head around that basic flow of electricity and where it's supposed to go, you can now diagnose just about anything on your RV system that deals with the electricity. Because if you can look at a wiring diagram and see where the electricity is supposed to come from and where it's supposed to go to next, I always tell all my people I would teach is you trace the last known power source. You know power is supposed to be coming from the switch. So let's say your water heater isn't working. One day, you're like, okay, let's figure out why. You're gonna come out here and you're gonna first test to see if power is coming from the switch. You're gonna check the green across the white if you have it on electric. And if you had it on gas, I would check it across to the orange, because the orange wire is for the gas. And that's again just for my water heater. You have to look at your wiring diagram to see. But if you can see that and you can test that and you say, oh, I got power coming from the switch, I know it's not the switch. Now, is power coming out of the board and going where it's supposed to go? You know it's supposed to go through the thermal cutoff switch or your thermostat. So is power coming out of the board, number one? Is it getting to your thermal cutoff switch? Is it coming back out of your thermal cutoff switch? Where is it that you finally lost that known power source, right? If it goes into the thermal cutoff switch, but it's not coming back out, then you know, bam, your thermostat is bad. And this applies to just about everything when it comes to DC electricity, especially. It's really simple with this low voltage system, but it's with anything. If you're talking about your air conditioner and you know that you're looking at the wiring diagram, so you know that the 120 volt AC for the rooftop air conditioner comes into I'd have to get up there and take a look at it because I'm trying to remember exactly how these things are built. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go upstairs so I can show you guys some 120 volt AC stuff. I started to get away from myself a little bit there. I was about to take you guys up on the roof. I actually started doing some recording of how to diagnose maybe your air conditioner or something like that up top. But you know, I realized I came from the AC trade. That's where I learned all of my main knowledge that I know now is from air conditioning. And it gets to be too complicated when you throw in capacitors, start kits, stuff like that. So I decided to not do that in this video, okay? I just wanted to show you guys some basic stuff, some good basic hand tools to keep on the RV with yourself, and how to do some basic diagnostics, okay? Trace the last known power source. That's the best advice I can give you. If you have power coming in somewhere, but it's not coming back out the other side, you know that piece or component is at least the source of the problem. Even if you can't replace it yourself, at least now you've diagnosed, all right, the thermostat's probably bad. Let's get this to the dealer, or let's get a mobile mechanic out here to get it taken care of. But at least now you know that the thermostat is bad. I really don't want to get too deep into the electricity stuff because it can get very complicated. I'm trying to keep these videos simple for you guys and give you some base knowledge and learn some stuff each week. Hopefully you like this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share the channel. We'll see you online. Thanks again for watching Why Not RV. I'm Chris. We'll see you next week. Bye.